All right, David. What's your name?
I'm David. You jerk. I hate you. You caught me off guard. How does my name?
How does my name work? I'm Ethan. Okay, let's do this. What's your name?
I'm David.
I'm Ethan.
And we are those nerds you know.
Yeah.
Warn a guy. What's wrong with you?
Welcome down,
This is why we leave the
everybody.
intros to you.
Welcome back to yet another week of Those Nerds You Know. And guess what we saw last week, David?
Thor Ragnarok.
Twice. Yes.
Gotta get it in as much as we can.
Oh, it was so good.
It's a good movie.
Gosh, it's good. All right. Thor Ragnarok. Who's in this movie?
Chris Hemsworth.
Tom Hiddleston. We got Jeff Goldblum. We've got Taika Waititi. Yep.
We got Kate Blanchett.
Correct.
Plays Hela. We got Anthony Hopkins. Plays Odin.
Yes, he does.
We got... Oh, man, our people. Oh, we got Bendy Straw Cucumber Patch playing Doctor Strange.
That's true. He's in this.
Benedict Cumberbatch. And
we've got a
Tessa Thompson plays Valkyrie.
Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie. We've got an Idris Elba.
Yeah.
We've got a Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
We've got a Stan Lee.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got a Carl Urban. Carl
Urban. Yep. He plays Scourge.
Which is funny because he's listed here as Executioner.
Yeah.
Rather than Scourge. Is maybe Executioner is an actual character.
I think in the comics his name is Scourge the Executioner.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
maybe the Executioner may be one of his titles, maybe just one of his names. But yeah, I think he in the comics is a villain who later turns good or something. I'm not certain.
Also, spoiler alerts. We've got another one of the Hemsworths.
Oh yes,
that plays Thor. In the thing. We've got a Sam Neill playing Odin.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a
Matt Damon,
Damon
playing Tom Hiddleston or playing
Loki. That was the best.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. And I'm so glad that hadn't been spoiled for me.
Yes, I had no idea. I did not expect that.
Because apparently, I listened to the Weekly Planet's review of this, and they talked about how someone had mentioned to them, or it's like kind of hot scoop or poop, that thing they do. Had done that for them with that.
Yes.
But because I literally bypassed anything having to do with Thor Ragnarok leading up to this movie, including things that they mentioned about it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Well, so for me, it's not so much that I probably heard it, but it was like, and so like but I'm one of those people that is like that segment on their show is like their rumors and stuff, and so whenever I hear it, I'm just like I take it with a grain of salt, and so it's like when I heard the rumor, I probably almost immediately forgot it. Like I don't even know what the last one they did of was because.
Well, in all honesty,
why would I hold on to the rumor?
Them and anyone else, I don't like trailers.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll watch the first trailer and then I'll just vehemently avoid any other trailers, which I managed to do.
Speaking of trailers, tell me all about the trailers you saw in these movies.
Bro, I ended up having to watch all of these trailers twice. I'm like,
Black Panther.
The Black Panther trailer looks great.
Star Wars.
Black Panther looks freaking awesome.
It looks solid.
And I'm super excited about it. But I was already excited about it. I don't need another trailer.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Who's not going to see this movie?
I have no idea.
Like,
communists?
It's probably like it's. There's no way I'm not going to see it. I don't want to see more of it. Stop it. Justice League, who cares? I'm going to see it because I have a podcast. And
who cares? I'm going to see it because I have a podcast. You're so down on Justice League. I can't blame you though. I really can't.
Just not.
I want it to be good, but it's probably not.
No, they've proved themselves not good at doing a movie with an ensemble cast.
I don't know. What's his name? Cavill, the Superman, whatever his name is.
Cavill.
He was talking about how he thinks DC has made the mistakes it's going to make, basically, and he's thinking that Wonder Woman is a sign of a course correction. He put it on Twitter, basically. He was talking about how he thinks that
that's great.
They may be on the right track.
I'm sure it's wonderful.
Hinting at Justice League, so we'll see.
He was probably standing in the middle of a big green screen for the entire part of this movie that he was in. I don't think he has any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So
you're probably not wrong.
No.
No. But yeah, we'll see. You'll have to tell me all about it.
We'll see if he smiles outside of a dream sequence.
Yes, quite. Smiles outside of a dream sequence. That's true. That's true. It's a dream when he turns to Lois and smiles. At least we can tell in the trailers, at least.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, do we want to talk about why I'm going to have to explain Justice League to you?
No, we can, sure. So, just to let you guys know off the top, I guess, this is going to be my last episode of the Knows Nerd You Know, for a while. Kind of, yes. I'm going on a mission with my church for 2 years. I'm going to be gone for 2 years, and we won't have access to internet and movies and television, stuff like that. It's a Mormon mission, LDS. If you guys have any questions about that, you can hit us up on Twitter and Gmail. We can tell you all about that. But yeah, so I'm going to be gone for a while, and this is the last episode I'm recording, but it's not going to be the last episode that we post. We've gotten ahead and we've recorded some backlog of some episodes that you guys will hear me on for a few weeks.
Yep, plenty of episodes in the can.
Just to give
ready to go.
Ethan some wiggle room as he finds either a new host or some guests and people to line up for the next couple years, basically.
So likely what's going to happen is the Those Nerds You Know family is going to expand a little bit. Mm-hmm. Maybe contract a bit later on, but we're losing David for a couple years. But I will hopefully have my plan is to have a set of rotating guests.
Yeah.
Might be easier for them to do that than for me to find another partner in crime at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I may... you've heard some voices on the Betrayal episode. They may come in. A couple of them might come in. We'll see. We'll see what happens and what I can get done. I'm just hoping it works out.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I'm hoping it works out. I'm hoping I come back and you guys are too famous that you've forgotten about me.
So
we'll see.
This episode will come out on David's last week here before his mission. So
I'll be flying out the week that this gets posted.
If you're listening to it as this comes out, just wish David luck. Send him a last couple of good luck tweets or whatever if you like. Mm-hmm. And know that after that, the next episode, he will be gone. Even if you are hearing his voice, he will be...
I'll be
in the mission.
Doing the Lord's work.
Stuff. Yep.
We'll see.
So that's what will be happening.
I'll miss you guys, all of our listeners.
Both of you.
Both of us.
Yep.
But
just like David, once we get a good thing going,
I know.
Just leaving me.
Yep. But I'm hoping you guys enjoy the show and continue to enjoy the show while I'm gone.
Indeed.
But yeah.
Excellent day. Well, back to the important matter.
Back to the fun thing. Thor. So, we watched it twice. Did you think it was good the second time, or better, or worse, or how do you think?
I thought the movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
Both times. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wouldn't have seen it the second time had I not thought it. The second time I went to take my girlfriend to see it, but if it was bad, I wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, I don't regret going the second time. I do feel I did get a little bit more out of the second showing.
I did too. I enjoyed it.
It was good to get a second glance at it and look at it. Now that I know what it is, it's not like some of the other Marvel movies where I'm just like, I saw it once and that's enough. Basically, It was neat to see it again. I think it has some staying power. There's a lot of little jokes and little add-ins and stuff that's kind of neat.
It's a very funny movie. The general premise of the film is, it's Ragnarok time in Norse mythology. That's the end of days. It's the when everything stops and dies and all that nonsense. And so this is the time for Odin to finally die, for a goddess of death to come from wherever she's been holed up and to take away everything that Thor holds dear in regards to Asgard and his heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially what goes about happening.
Yeah, that's a spoiler-free version, I think.
Yeah, more or less. But we're going to spoil all the things. So if you haven't seen
spoilers,
this movie,
here's your warning.
Go see it.
Go see it. It's really, really good. 10 out of 10. I don't know about 10 out of 10. It's like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say so. if anything, first off, my only problem, probably not my only problem, but the problem that I don't like is like, I like comedy, but there's so many parts. There's a few jokes that I just feel just don't land. They land super flat, and it's because I feel like sometimes people like to repeat jokes.
Yeah,
and you see them coming and they're not as funny. You're like, oh, this is how a joke works. We're gonna make them think this one thing's gonna happen, and then we're gonna do this dumb, goofy thing instead, which is how a joke works, and that's fun. But when you do that 3 times for each joke, I don't feel like that works as well. Like,
which joke are you referring to?
There's one called "That's What Heroes Do."
Oh, yes. That one was kind of...
Both times it happens, it's Thor kind of flubbing it up.
Yeah.
It's like the first time he miscalculates his hammer coming, and then the second time...
Or the line isn't landing, I guess, because he's not doing it.
And then the second time, he throws a ball, and it comes back and hits him in the face.
Yep.
The other one is Get Help.
They do
Get Help first, and I'm like, that's, I guess, kind of funny and childish and cute, whatever. And then... they're standing on the bridge. They're staring down Hela at the end of the movie, and they're like, Loki's "We've got to do something." Loki's like, "I'm not going to do Get Help." Yeah. And I'm like, "That was not funny, Loki. It was not."
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Those were
stop repeating these dumb
interesting
jokes.
moments. I was like,
the only joke that I liked that they repeated twice was Korg's lying.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm about to get on that spaceship and fly out of here. You want to come?
I love Korg so much.
He's great. Say go out to you too, man.
He's hilarious. He's got a lot of good jokes.
Piss off, ghost. Yeah, no, it's good. I liked it a lot. I liked him a lot. The other complaint I have about the comedy is that there were 2 very blatant sex jokes that I was just like, we've never had these in Thor before, I don't think, and like, I don't want them here.
Which one?
So there's the one about his hammer pulling him off.
Oh yeah, that was
masturbation
weird. That was really weird.
And then there was one when they got into the Grandmaster's leisure vehicle.
The orgy
joke. Yeah. And I was like, that was also unnecessary.
Yeah.
And stupid.
And yeah.
That's another thing they do that, because the pattern of jokes gets to the point where you can call it.
Yeah.
And that's why the Ruffalo thing, the Hulk thing at the end, where he's like, I got this, don't worry about it, and he jumps out of the thing. I'm like, obviously he's not going to turn into the Hulk.
No.
He's just going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
And
which something
I didn't laugh the first time. I laughed the second time I saw it because they do hang on it a bit, which I feel is probably what helped it. Like the dog stops and sniffs it.
Everywhere,
and then you close up on him and he's just like
he's
on the
floor.
He's
just dead. He's just straight dead.
That makes it a little bit funnier.
But
I think it would have been hilarious if he was.
You're talking about the first time he did it with Incredible Hulk with which one was the first time you were talking about?
I'm not talking about the first time because I don't think they did that more than once. But I'm saying by this point in the film, I could call the comedy.
Oh yeah,
say they're gonna set up this thing that makes you think this is gonna happen, and then this dumb thing's gonna happen.
Yeah. So they actually did that one in the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk movie.
I haven't seen it.
Where it's like one of the final scenes of the show. Like he's like having to fight the Abomination or whatever, which is basically evil Hulk.
Right.
And he like jumps out of a helicopter, I think, and he's like falling through the city at night. And he has this moment where he's just like sitting there and he's just like kind of like meditating basically to try and like get the rage up so that he can become Hulk. And he like opens his eyes and like normally the eyes would be green and show that he's turning into Hulk, but instead they're just normal. And you see this like look of panic and they just smacks you to the ground. And you're like, wow, that was awful. That did not work out. But that one, it's a little bit like it's supposed to be a joke, but it's played off way more dramatically. And so like I never saw it. When I saw that scene, I didn't see that was funny. I was like, oh no, this is bad. But here it was like, oh, okay, this is kind of funny. Like,
and you could see it coming, like the way he was talking about it.
Yeah,
it's just like, please don't do this. Okay, I'll give you a pity laugh. That's fine. I'll laugh at the other people laughing at it.
Yes,
that's fine, I guess. But like, that's really my only complaint is that, like, not that you shouldn't put jokes in. I'm glad that there were jokes. There's a lot of funny parts in this.
Not all the jokes would land, I don't think.
And especially the ones that they do more than once. That's that's the thing I was saying.
Yeah.
And the sex ones. I'm just like, stop. This is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. With the repeated joke, or with the jokes in general, I don't know how much of this movie was like improv or ad-libbed or whatever, but it feels like
apparently a
good portion of it was. Yeah. And that's a tool they use a lot in comedy. And to me, it seems it works in varying degrees, in the sense that, like, a lot of movies I know that do that, it's just like they're very hit or miss.
Maybe we're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they picked the best of the sex jokes or the dumb repetitive jokes, but I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not certain. I mean, I did like that, like, one of the outcomes for those kinds of shows, though, is that, or these kinds of movies, is that the trailers will have some jokes that the movie didn't. Like, I like that in the trailer, they had the Revengers thing, and they were like, well, our team doesn't have to have a name. But they didn't do that bit in the movie. I don't know if you saw the trailer.
No, I didn't.
Okay. There's a scene. They do the Revengers scene, and he's like, you know, we're called the Revengers, and she just gives him this look, and he's like, I mean, the team doesn't have to have a name, and like that's how they drop it. And it's like, it's neat that instead that he kind of just like, he goes for it. Like, he's like, you're getting revenge, I'm getting revenge, you're getting revenge. Yeah. He's like, I'm open to it.
They did that. That's similar to what they did with the Guardians this year as well. There was a joke that was in the trailer that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Yeah,
marvelous.
I think one of my only problems with the movie, is them tying up Hela's appearance to the fact that Odin dies, and Odin's death is just the most anticlimactic thing. It's just kind of like, we found Odin, and he's dead. And I'm like, are we supposed to feel things? I don't really know this character that well.
I don't know.
I was like, maybe Anthony Hopkins is getting old and they can't afford to use him as Odin.
He doesn't get old.
I don't know, because it just felt weak, because Odin's he's a part of the Thor mythology, and he's part of the Thor, like, you know, comic stuff, but I don't feel like he's played that big a role in the movies. Because it's been the focus has been on Thor, more or less. And it's like, Odin, while being his father, has not been with him as much as Loki has been with him alongside in these adventures. And so it's just like, to have Odin just be like, all right, guys, I'm done. Peace out. I was like, well, I'm sure it's sad for Thor, but I don't feel this. Like, I don't care about this character.
I feel that, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we need to feel that much for him. We just need to know that Thor was upset about it, which is fine. I think we care about Thor, and so if Thor's upset, the audience will be upset with him, and that's cool enough.
Yeah.
Don't really care too much about that. Mm-hmm. All that stuff aside, I love this film. Mm-hmm. The movie was a lot of fun. It's really cool.
Yeah, there was very few things to complain about it, in my opinion.
Immigrant Song was cool.
Yes.
Yeah. It was neat that the beginning of the movie. Well, I love everything that happened with Surtur. It was really cool.
With who?
Surtur, the big...
the fire demon looking guy? Yeah.
So when Thor beat the crap out of him and killed all those
that
monsters.
That whole thing was very
cool. Super cool.
I loved how
lots of fun.
He's like just blending these monsters with his spinning hammer, where it's just like they'll just run into him, they just turn to mist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so funny that how many of those guys he just killed by spinning his hammer.
Gosh, he's so fun. He's probably my favorite Avenger. Like, I just
really?
Oh, easily.
Oh man,
he's so cool. Well, I mean,
Spider-Man's not an Avenger yet.
Yeah, but think of the other Avengers.
I think Iron Man's probably been my favorite.
I don't know
of all time, but
I've heard you complain about him a lot.
I mean,
but yeah, he's fine.
He's not without his flaws.
He's cool.
I don't think I have a particular thing. I don't think I have a favorite Avenger.
He's the only other one that would be in the running for me.
Yeah.
Is Iron Man or Thor.
Yeah.
Captain America's fine. But
I like Captain America.
Care too much about him.
I don't like, people compare him to Superman a lot, but I find Superman a lot more interesting for some reason. I don't know what exactly that Captain America lacks, or at least what he lacks in the movies, but I don't know. He doesn't do it for me like Superman does. Because they're both, people are like, oh, they're basically the same character because they're both goody-goody two-shoes and stuff. And I'm like, I guess, but...
Nah, Captain America's Hydra. You don't know.
Right. I don't know. Superman's always kind of been more of a family man.
I like the fantasy element of Thor a lot more. I really enjoyed Thor: The Dark World. I think it's really cool. I like that this is just Lord of the Rings in space. Mm-hmm. I think it's really neat. I love his story. I love what he can do. I love his power set.
Yeah,
it's really cool. He's probably easily my favorite.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool to see him in action so much again. That was just a lot of fun. See him fight and see him do things. It's really, really cool. And see how funny he can be. But I was gonna say he basically sums up in the very beginning what he's been doing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I ran around trying to find some Infinity Stones. Spoiler alert, I didn't find any. That's the other thing, is that we don't see an Infinity Stone in this movie.
We see the Tesseract.
No, we don't see a new one.
Oh, we don't see a new one.
The new one is not revealed. That's what I'm saying. Which was everybody was thinking it was going to be, and I was like, kudos for not revealing a new one. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But yeah.
I'm excited for Infinity War. I'm excited for Thanos. I'm excited for all those different things. But like the gems themselves, I'm not excited for. I don't care. Like, they're powerful, colorful gems that do stuff. And I'm just like, look, I'm not going to keep track of 7 stones I don't care about.
6.
6 stones, yeah. I was thinking about the lantern rings. I do care about the lantern rings.
Do you?
Yes, quite a bit.
Well, don't talk about that here.
But I don't care about these gems.
I think they're cool.
The powers are very vague.
A lot of fun. And I think the Infinity War the first one of these will probably involve them racing to find the last one. I don't think...
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that will be a good push to get them to find it, or to get them all into the fray, into the action.
Yeah.
Any hoozles. No Infinity Stone in this one, but yeah, he just sort of catches everybody up to where he's been, because he's been missing, or he's been out of the loop since Ultron, right? Yeah. End of Ultron, he was like,
yes,
there've been a lot of stones showing up in the past like 2 years, and that's not a coincidence. So I'm gonna go figure out why. And he's like, peace, and he leaves. And yeah,
does he? Isn't that the end of Ultron?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to remember the end of Ultron now.
So the end of Ultron is when
it's been so long.
Iron Man, Tony Stark has built his new Avengers facility. And like that's the point where they're having the conversation. They're trying to like console Thor. They're like, look, you put the hammer in an elevator. Elevator still goes up.
Yeah.
Elevator's not worthy.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be like, Vision's just a machine. It's all good. Yeah. You're fine. And all that nonsense. And it's like the end of that when they're like kind of going separate ways. That's what Thor says when he leaves.
He's going to figure out what the Infinity Stones are about. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's not in
Interesting.
Civil War. That's why, or anything else that has happened since.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I like that his sum up at the beginning of this movie, because I just totally forgot what exactly Thor was doing.
That was it. That was the purpose of it too. Everybody forgot about Thor.
He's probably like my least... Oh, actually, that's not true. Hulk is my least favorite.
Obviously.
God, I hate Hulk. I don't hate Hulk. Because I actually do like Bruce Banner. I just don't like Hulk. I don't like Hulk as a fighter.
So, of all the Avengers in the current MCU, rank them.
Are we including the new heroes that have not considered themselves Avengers?
They're all on the Avengers team, though. Like
Doctor Strange isn't an Avenger.
No.
Superman's
I'm talking about the Avengers. I'm talking about like Vision.
Okay, Vision
and Scarlet Witch.
Okay,
Black Widow, Hawkeye, even though he's retired. Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor. That's 8. Is that all of them?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Falcon, Scarlet Witch, and who else was the other new one?
Oh, Falcon's on there too. I forgot about Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon's on there.
And then maybe War Machine, but I don't know if he's actually an official one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It definitely have Hulk at the bottom. I think above him, either Falcon or Black Widow, but not because I don't like them, but just because I just don't care about them.
Yeah.
Vision's down there too. Just because you don't get a lot of screen time with him.
Not interesting.
I think my top 4 would be Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. I think it'd be that order. And then who am I missing?
You haven't mentioned Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Oh God, put Hawkeye below everybody. What the heck?
Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Okay, Scarlet Witch. Yeah, Scarlet Witch would probably be. No, let's put Vision above Scarlet Witch actually, because I actually do like. I like Vision, even though he's not. And he's potential to do really some good stuff. So yeah, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Vision.
So you like Captain America more than Thor?
More than Thor, yeah, just a little bit more than Thor.
Weird.
You're weird.
I don't know. You just said how he wasn't very interesting to you.
He isn't, but compared to all the other uninteresting characters, he's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Don't try to catch me in my words. What was your ranking?
I like Thor and then Iron Man, and then
I think it's hard.
probably Captain America.
Yeah.
I like Captain America's martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
He's real good.
He's a really good fighter. I think he's
a cool fighter.
I think his past is interesting and things like that, but he just
Any hoozles, Thor's awesome. His altercation with Surtur at the beginning is really cool, and then this all the comedy is like Scourge showing his stuff to his lady friends.
Yes, behold my stuff. I love that very much. Yes,
and the big dragon head just slides in on these chicks.
Yeah, oh gosh,
all greasy and nasty.
Yep, slide in the DMs
Right, and then so Thor gets there and he's like, "What's this deal about Odin not being here?" And then he flies in to see Loki, and that's when we see
Scourge has to run after him.
Yes, it's so good, so good. I love that joke.
When I saw that, I was like,
one
does literally no other person fly?
Like he had one job. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, y'all don't have any kind of quick travel.
Yeah,
I got teleport.
He got there
stones.
pretty quick, is the thing, because it's like you see the distance Thor covers.
He's an Asgardian, so he's probably faster and stronger than most. But I mean, still, you don't have like one of those boat ships.
Yeah.
Like
you've got a Bifrost that can teleport you to any of the 9 realms,
but for some reason
you don't have a bus,
right? But for some reason, that thing has to sit at the very edge of your flat planet, away from everything else. Like it's at the farthest point on this planet. Yeah, like, what are we doing here? What's this? Anyways,
so it could laser beam off into space.
Yes,
that's how it is.
So yeah, no, that's good. He comes, he finds Loki, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw my hammer, and it's gonna come back and squish your head unless you tell me you're Loki."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Okay, fine, I'm Loki." And
we're
like, yeah, that's also when we see the play.
The play
we were talking about.
I didn't realize. So I was trying to remember who I was trying to remember.
It was funny
because the guy that played the Thor in that was very he looked very familiar, but I couldn't think of who it was because I'm not very familiar with the Hemsworth brothers.
Yeah, he's not Liam, whatever the other one's name is. I don't know him very well. He's not. I think he's lesser known.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was another Hemsworth brother, and so I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, it was very good. Oh yes, there's a lot of good laughs in this.
So, Thor and Loki go to find Odin because he's been missing, and that's when we have our.
That's when we see Doctor Strange
cameo with Doctor Strange, which was pretty substantial. I really enjoyed it. I liked. Like, I thought it was going to be kind of like a Stan Lee cameo where it's like maybe a few seconds, but it's like we get to see him for a few minutes, and it was kind of neat. And
talks with Homeboy, does a lot of wizarding stuff.
He's gotten the hang of this magic thing.
Yeah,
I also like that it wasn't just, more portals and shields. You know what I mean? Like, it was him doing some really neat, interesting, magical things.
Portals and teleporting and beer.
And beer and tea. And, just moving all around the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just shifting
portals
perceptions and stuff.
It wasn't super intense, but it was different, I guess.
It was different. It was kind of it was just neat.
Just Thor wrecking his house with his hammer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like that,
and then I like
Loki has just been falling the whole time.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
I also like that Doctor Strange doesn't have any. He's not threatened by Loki. He's just like, bye.
It's good. I love it.
I like that nobody's threatened by Loki right now at this point.
And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen to Billy in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
He's just going to get to this point where he's no longer a threat. He's just a goofball.
Yeah. That could be it. It could be a thing.
I feel like they might do that with it. Just to give us a little more comic relief in that show.
Yeah.
Which it could benefit from.
Yeah, I mean, with everybody
with all
fighting Demogorgons.
Everybody dying and stuff. Anybody with a good heart. being killed mercilessly.
Do you think they'll kill off one of the kids in one of the later seasons? Not to get back on this.
Only if they become a good person.
Only if they become a good person. Okay.
Which they won't because they're about to go through puberty.
Yeah. And get super evil. Doctor Strange, but yeah, so I like that. Yeah, I like that he was able to just push them out of the way. It also felt to me like Dragon Ball Z and how it is now, or how the show and movie is now, where the Saiyans basically just have no threat. Like when a new threat comes, they're just like, well, we've dealt with new threats. Mm-hmm. Like they're just not at all impressed.
Yep.
So yeah, that was cool. And then we get to see Odin's disappointing death scene. He just kind of turns to mist. And I do think it's interesting to see Thor's reaction to Loki, because up till now, Loki has done some bad things. But like this one, I think was like, the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. But at the same time, like, I felt that way at that moment, but then like by the end of the movie, they're like best buds again. And so I'm just like, wait.
I mean, that's just the way it goes with these kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess when you're, immortal or whatever. Or
yeah, when you're immortal, when you've been brothers for hundreds of years, that's probably just how it'll go. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Odin was going to die eventually anyway.
What'd you think of Hela?
I enjoyed Hela. She was neat and overpowered, and just very threatening. Mm-hmm. I liked her entrance. I liked when Loki and Thor both suited up at the same time.
Yes, that was really cool. That was very cool. I liked him disguising the hammer as an umbrella. And I liked
that she told him to kneel. Just something that Loki has said before.
A reference to the Avengers movie, yeah.
Beg your pardon. Yeah, no, that was really cool. Neato.
I like she can just basically like create weapons from like nothing.
Yes, I love that.
It's nuts. It's a very powerful.
It's a very sweet power.
And gosh, it was very cool.
And she kills everybody we care about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she kills the Warriors 3 in 2 seconds flat.
Gimli, Robin Hood, and Jackie Chan. Yeah. Kills them all.
Yes. Do we care about them? I don't remember if we care about them.
They were the only people worth caring about that were still there that weren't Idris Elba. Mm-hmm. So that's why they died.
Yeah.
They're like, remember these people that helped Thor? They're dead now.
Yeah.
Because she's threatening and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it. They didn't kill Scourge because
I felt like
he needed to hang out for a bit.
I felt like, again, with that, it felt a little bit like Odin's death again. Where I was just like, oh no, not the Warriors 3. Like, anything but them.
I felt it was cool that it was quick, though.
Yeah, it was cool. It
showed
neat.
some of her power and things of that nature.
And it was very much like...
Jackie Chan took longer to die, but...
it was very much like...
Still definitely dead.
What's his name from Star Trek that they would beat up on?
Yeah, that trope that they do. I don't know.
I can't remember his name.
Isn't he a Klingon?
Yeah, he's the Klingon that they kept beating up to show when a new villain is powerful.
Klingons are really powerful. They can't get hurt or destroyed by people, and then someone comes and just clocks him, and he's down, and they're like, holy crap, this person's really strong. Yeah. And then they do that continuously. Yeah. So in
this case, when they clocked the Klingon, he stayed dead, so they looked really intimidating. Yeah. So Hela really came out very strong.
Stuff. Yeah.
She killed... The moment that got me, though, was there's that scene where she's, like, fighting off a rebellion, and, like, she just, like, knifes, like, 4 airships at one time. I was like, dang! I was lost. I was like, nope, this is over. Like, I was like, everybody just pack it in, wave the white flag, this is over. It's like, goodness gracious.
Stupid strong.
Jeez.
But yeah.
I thought she was very cool. I also thought it was neat that the humor, they brought humor to her too, with her like giving her like monologue, and everybody's just like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "What do you mean? Who am I?" I
don't know who you are, but I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Did you not listen to anything I said?"
Right. What do you mean? Who am I?
Just explained who I am.
Right.
To you. In words.
I like that.
I get her frustration though.
Yeah.
It's just like me at work.
Right. It's like, you know what this is. Yeah. No, I think that's really cool. I think she was a very interesting villain. It was neat to see. I did like her backstory as well, with them being like the Asgardians used to be like a more violent, more power hungry, conquering type people, and then it would have been interesting to understand why Odin became more peaceful. I didn't gather that because she just like they were kind of led to believe that I guess she kind of showed him that error of his ways. Like because she got so bloodthirsty, he was like, oh, well, we can't do this, and so he stops. He locks her away and then starts to make everything more peaceable. But I don't know. It was neat to see that backstory though. That old time.
How'd you feel about her killing Mjolnir?
Whoa! It was neat. I feel like it would have been cooler had I not seen it in like a dozen trailers.
Exactly. Mother of God.
I think it would have been way more impactful that way.
Right? Precisely. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. No, I just...
But instead, we were told that she would crush the hammer, and we were told that the Hulk would be here.
We were told that like a year ago. It felt like it was probably closer to like several months or something. But no, that was one of those things that it's like it was neat. I was kind of hoping there was more to it, like we'd see like, oh man, she can do it because of these reasons, but no, she just did it because she's really powerful. And
the only hint we have is that she used to wield it.
Yeah.
She's on the paintings on the ceiling. Odin's holding his spear, and she's holding Mjolnir above her head when they're in all those battles. So she used to use Mjolnir. Yeah. So that's why she would have been able to stop.
Which I'm wondering if Mjolnir had like the same like worthiness criteria.
No, that's a thing that Odin puts on the hammer when he banishes Thor in the first movie. He speaks that, and a rune appears on the hammer. That's why Thor can't pick it up immediately.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
so that was new to the hammer.
Okay,
and to Thor, because Thor had the hammer previously.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's good to see Thor growing. Like he's different than he was in the first couple movies.
Definitely,
he seemed naive and a little bit like gullible and all these different kinds of things, and also quite like prideful. He's still pretty prideful, but like to the point where like he couldn't look past his own nose, basically, kind of thing. Like he would look down at everybody.
Yeah.
But he does seem to has gained kind of like a selfless part of him, basically, over these movies he's been in, and so that's kind of neat that you see in this.
And now he's more streetwise.
Yeah, he's more quick when it comes to like Loki trying to trip him up and stuff.
So now we're not laughing at him; we're laughing with him.
Yeah,
he's not the butt of the jokes. He's making the jokes.
Yeah,
all the quips.
Yep,
all of them.
He's quipping with the best of them. I'm excited to see this Loki in later Avengers movies.
Oh yeah, I want this Loki or this Thor.
Sorry, Thor.
I want to see this Thor with Chris Pratt, Star-Lord.
Yes.
Real bad. Peter Quill.
Whew. Oh man.
I don't know why I can never remember that human's name. That
Peter Quill. Yeah, Peter Quill. Star-Lord. That will be phenomenal. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want that real hard.
I want to see Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth. Like, I want to see all three of the Chris's interacting. Like, I think that'll be a neat thing. Because I'm hoping by that point Captain America gets jokes better too. Although it's kind of a reach with him. They've made him a lot more...
now that he's...
They've made his stories a lot darker. He hasn't had a lot of...
Yeah, maybe now that he's getting more edgy.
Right.
He'll learn how to say some jokes.
Right.
Or maybe just one-liners.
Yeah.
Over people who are dead.
Yes. Could be.
Wipe yourself off, man.
You did. So we got Hela.
Yeah. So essentially all this has happened, and Hela gets transported back to the Asgard, which is what we were talking about when she was killing people and murdering the rebellion and all that nonsense. In the act of doing that, she threw Loki and Thor out of the Bifrost portal, and they got whisked away to other planets. Both of them actually ended up on the same planet,
yes,
but within different times of each other. Loki got there a lot sooner. On to, what is this place called?
Scar, something.
It's okay. You keep trying to sound it out. I'll look it up.
You keep trying to sound it out. Scarza? No, I don't know. One of those. But yeah, it's a junk planet with lots of portals all over it, where things from all over the galaxy kind of just like appear there whenever. It's interesting to have. It's kind of like an island of misfit toys planet, basically, because it's just like they have this idea of like everybody on this planet was like brought here by some other thing, like from some other place through these portals, basically. They mentioned that on this planet they have the Grand Master, played by Jeff Goldblum, and they describe him early on as being like the first of the lost and the first of the found. So it's like he seems to be like one of the first people, or if not the first person, to make it to this planet through one of the portals and stuff. I think that's kind of interesting. I think that's neat in and of itself. That it's just like this, like all these people that are just like lost, like misfit people, and it's interesting. You see like wreckage from like all over the place. I was kind of hoping to kind of like recognize some stuff. Everything feels very alien, but I guess it would make sense that it's all alien, because like you don't see like relics from like, you know, our world or you know, not necessarily. Although you do see like some animals. The animal that what's her name? Valkyrie falls into, like the dead creature that was by her ship. It's apparently a creature from Asgard or something like that. And so there's just some other sides of Asgardians besides her and Thor. So I don't know. I just didn't see a lot of like Earth clues.
Apparently the internet either doesn't know what this is called or doesn't care, or I'm just not looking it up the right way. I don't know. Junk planet.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. The Valkyrie chick was cool. She has some fun moments. Her little spaceship is cool. I really wanted her to get punched in the face, though. Like, I wanted her...
Oh, the Valkyrie?
Yes, I wanted her smug face to get punched. She never does. She ends up becoming a good guy, spoiler alert. She has a little tussle with Loki, but she wins. Loki does a cool little mind thing where he can look and peers into her brain, and he can see all of her memories of fighting Hela. So in her memories, there's a lot of it was really cool imagery. Mm-hmm. Looked like a painting out of like the Renaissance era or something like that. Really cool. There were other moments that I felt looked like that too. There were like the moment when Thor gets all of his wonderful power at the end, and he jumps down from the castle, Sakaar, and he jumps into all the bad guys on the bridge. That moment, that slow-mo moment, looks really, really cool. It's like a really awesome
with
painting.
The lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Valkyrie thing was really cool. I'm sad that she's the only Valkyrie left. Mm-hmm. I wish there would have been more somehow.
It would have been neat to see... Yeah, it would be neat to see more Valkyrie. I also really liked Thor talking about wanting to be a Valkyrie.
Yeah,
being like they're all women, and
yeah, that was funny.
It's okay when women, should be powerful. He's like, finally, or it's about time, or something like that. I was just like, what the heck?
Stop talking, please. That's good. This is what. So yeah, he gets enslaved essentially by the Grand Master, who's this kooky Jeff Goldblum-like character played by Jeff Goldblum.
Who better to play Jeff Goldblum
with a melting stick?
He's an interesting villain in this. In that, like 1 minute he's melting a guy for we have no idea what, and the next minute he's DJing at a party, and so it's very just like he's evil and charismatic. He doesn't like the word slave, but he likes having slaves. Like
prisoners with jobs.
Prisoners
have
with
themselves.
Jobs.
Okay.
That's better.
Yes. Yeah, he's so cool.
It's very interesting. He's a very interesting villain.
Gosh.
Or I like his like when everybody's breaking off and like they're flying away, and he's like he has this big holographic version of himself trying to like bark orders at people and stuff like that, but he's still trying to keep that like cheeriness about him or whatever. He's like, don't let them leave this planet. And I'm just like, this is hilarious, this villain.
It's my birthday. Right. I love that so much.
Yes.
This looks like a gun. It's my birthday.
All the fireworks going off and everything.
Super good.
It was good.
He's a fun character. Who else is in this? Hulk. The Hulk's really neat.
Sakaar.
We get the Hulk. The Hulk is the Grandmaster's champion, and for this fighting thing that he does, and
this gladiator thing, yeah. I do. Hang on. Before that, I do like when Thor first meets the Grandmaster. He's on that like little tunnel that leads to him, and it's just like they're playing like a World of Imagination. That's so it's very reminiscent of there's the boat in Willy Wonka's thing when they're going down in the tube, and it's just like everything's getting very kooky and weird and stuff like that. I love Thor's reaction where he just starts screaming.
Oh gosh, yes, that was really funny.
Poor guy.
Man.
But yeah, Hulk is the champion. It's one of those things that's like, I bet you it would have been better if we hadn't known Hulk was on this planet.
Yes, precisely.
But it was still like, not...
You have to tell people that he's going to be in the movie.
To get people in the seats, I guess.
But I mean,
and that's how I kind of felt about Mjolnir, but at the same time I was like, I don't really need to know about Mjolnir.
No, we didn't need to know that.
Yeah, that part I could have gone without. But I feel like they decided to put that into the trailer to show that Hela was a threat, or that she was a new threat to Thor. But even then, I'm like, they could have shown him getting thrown out of the Bifrost and then shown him when he was on Sakaar. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But yeah, so Hulk. He's been Hulk for a long time. He's been Hulk for basically since Ultron. So 2 years. And he started to learn to talk a little bit because he's kind of like an infant or a toddler now. He's kind of started to take on a persona of his own.
I feel like he could already talk a bit, but he just decided.
Yeah, I think he could talk a little bit. He does seem to get a grasp, a better understanding of it. He
says puny god in the first Avengers movie. And I'm like, he can put that together. So I think maybe he just hasn't felt like talking very much up until now.
He's gotten more of a...
But yeah, it's cool. And I love the fight between Thor and Hulk. I love it.
It's a good fight. I really did.
It was so good.
I like that it didn't feel as one-sided as a lot of people thought it would.
Yes.
It felt very much like Thor and Hulk were pretty equally matched.
Which is what, like, honestly, they have been. Like, Thor
and they would be,
is a very powerful Avenger and probably is more powerful than Hulk, at least in this iteration of them.
Yeah.
And they fought quite a bit, or they had their little tussles in the Avengers movie. And yeah, gosh.
Yeah, no, it was a very good fight. I liked that it turned around. I loved Loki being afraid of Hulk.
Yes.
That was very good. And I loved him getting into the fight when Thor got slammed.
Thor got pummeled by the way he did. It was so fun. Yeah, there's a lot of good character interactions in this.
Yes.
But that fight was great.
Yeah.
I loved it showing Thor, first off, just being a good combatant without his hammer.
Yes.
And also, we got his power. We got to see, it wasn't
see him do lightning.
It wasn't his hammer.
Yeah.
And it was him. He had this power all along. And that was so boss. So cool. And he definitely was going to win that fight. But the Grandmaster would not permit such.
I wonder why he would do that as opposed to allowing Thor to be the new champion. Is it because he mentioned that if he beat his champion, he'd get to go free?
Probably.
Because I'm wondering, because it's like, I feel like he could have just reneged on the deal and just like, if he had let Thor win, and he could have just had Thor be the new champion or whatever, and then that would be, he would be like, oh, well, I said you could leave, but
I think it's because the Hulk doesn't care about leaving.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to convince the Hulk to stay.
I guess that's true, yeah. The Hulk's not really a prisoner, yeah.
No, he's just hanging out.
Yeah.
If Thor had won, he would have to convince Thor to stay.
Yeah.
But Thor didn't want to stay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's probably fair. That makes sense.
So yeah, like he's just got this constant moneymaker here.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, so he keeps him there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I mean, like for plot reasons, they couldn't have Thor win that fight, because if Thor had won that fight, it would probably have ended with the Hulk turning back into Banner in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Which would not have been great to Hulk.
That's true. That's very true. It was neat to see Hulk become Bruce Banner when people didn't see him, so that Bruce Banner was his cover, basically.
Yeah, that was cool. It was also, I've seen it twice, and I told myself I would pay really close attention, and I did, but I still can't figure this out. In the Hulk-Thor fight, at the end of the Hulk-Thor fight, when Hulk has jumped up really high and he's coming down to slam on top of Thor, a hand comes up, and so you see at the end of it from Thor's perspective. The camera is Thor's eyes essentially looking up at the Hulk, and there's a hand that comes into the shot, essentially like it's going to stop the Hulk's punch.
Yes.
And we don't know who that is. I don't know. I don't think it was Thor.
Really? I always assumed it was Thor.
I don't, because Thor was out. Like Thor was.
He was dazed,
done.
I think.
And the next shot is him again, unconscious.
Well, that's because the hand wasn't going to stop the Hulk. Like I just
he was going to kill him. Like that's like I don't think my opinion, my conspiracy theory is that it was the Valkyrie, is that she stopped the fight.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Which is hinting at her power, because she is quite powerful, and the Valkyrie are ridiculous and strong, and I think that's really cool. Just a subtle hint at her.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
I didn't come to that conclusion just because it didn't. I don't know. The hand looked like Thor's to me, but that's. I guess that would be something to.
Well, it's wrapped up. That's the thing about it. Like the hand is got stuff on it, so I don't know.
I'll have to. That's a good question, but no, that wasn't something I actually dwelled that much on, just because it looked like Thor's hand. I just assumed it was one of those, like, it was just another way to show that Thor was like pitifully trying to stop Hulk from knocking him unconscious completely, and I wasn't expecting. I don't think that Hulk can kill Thor by bludgeoning him, because the way the Asgardians are built feels similar to how the Wonder Woman's characters are in DC, in that like they're really, really, really tough and sturdy when it comes to like blunt force and like really just like heavy hits and stuff, like punching and stuff like that. It's hard to kill them that way, and it's basically impossible to kill them that way, but they're not like immune to like getting stabbed and slashed and cut and those kinds of things.
Right.
And so like that's why it's just like when you see Thor get stabbed or get shot or those kinds of things, like those things seem to affect him. But like you see him like literally get sent through the Bifrost and crashing on an alien planet, and he literally had no marks on his body. And so I'm just like, yeah, I mean, bludgeoning just doesn't really affect him that much. I could see him going unconscious from Hulk landing on his head, but I did not see that Thor or Hulk would actually kill him that way. I think that was one of the reasons why you see Hulk basically break. You see Thor break Hulk's axe pretty early on in the fight, because I think he definitely could have killed Thor with that. But with the hammer, it was kind of more of an equal fight at that point. Because I don't think Hulk can really get bludgeoned to death either. I think you can knock him out. Which a lot of people have been talking about how what was it? They did a video on like Film Theory, or I think it was Film Theory. Yeah, Matt Pat did a video about, could Thor really beat Hulk in a fight? And he was talking about their power levels and stuff like that. And he talked about how Tony couldn't beat Hulk with the Hulkbuster. And I'm like, but he did though. Like Hulk actually went out. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like I met a lot of people that are like, the Hulk is invincible because he would just get more angry, and his anger would just make him stronger, and he just gets stronger and better. And I'm just like, yeah, but the Hulk gets defeated a lot in the comics. Like it's very possible to get defeated in the comics. But yeah,
he has a limit.
Yeah. So they had to fight. I do like that they put Thor with Hulk afterwards, and they didn't have to like find some sort of weird like Thor having to like, I don't know, break out of prison or something to get to Hulk. It made sense that they were like, oh, one of the things I was curious about, the things the girls were doing to him when he was unconscious, were they like wrapping him up like he was dead, or were they like treating his wounds?
They were just treating his sores like I'm sure his body would have been sore from the fight, and so they were just trying to some warm.
Well, it's because of the way they got. I couldn't tell if they were like when they left because they got scared. Did they get scared because he was angry, or they get scared because they thought he was dead?
I assume it was because he was angry. They wouldn't be addressing his body in Hulk's bedroom.
I don't know. Maybe they think Hulk eats Asgardians. I don't know.
I mean, all the other dead guys have just been thrown back in the circle.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Doug. Another day, another Doug. I knew he wasn't going to say it, but I really had hoped Korg was going to say another day, another play. But but it wouldn't have made sense. I just thought it was really funny. I loved Korg too. We kind of
Korg was great. Yeah,
he's great.
Was really funny.
I liked him talking about the reason he's in the ring is because he tried to put a red blade and he didn't print out enough flyers.
Yes,
I think that was clever. I thought that was really good. But it's funny because it was one of those things where it's like I didn't.
Mom and her boyfriend,
right? Who I don't really like. I didn't know if he was serious, and that's the thing that I thought was funny. It was like I didn't know if it was because he literally didn't print out enough flyers, or he just meant in that he didn't get enough of a following, basically. Right. You know what I mean? Because he seems like the kind of guy who's smart, but yet he has his moments of stupidity. Yeah. So I'm just like, it's tough to tell, but it's still funny. Like either way,
that's great. He's good. He was a good choice. He's good comic relief.
Yes.
But yeah, no. Thor eventually works his way off of Sakaar through stratagem. Mm-hmm. And he takes Hulk with him, and he takes Valkyrie Girl with him.
What'd you think about Bruce Banner when he snapped out of the Hulk? He was off, but you're led to believe it's because he hasn't been in control of his own body for the last 2 years.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And so it was interesting, but it was neat because, I guess it was jarring, I guess for me. And I kind of attribute it to Mark Ruffalo's acting. He must have done he did a really good job because it made me feel like he was there, but not all the way there. Yeah. Like he wasn't quite grasping everything. Like the moment when he was just like, Thor's like, I need a disguise, and Bruce is like, I need a disguise, and Thor's like, you are the disguise. It's just like in my head, I'm like, well, obviously he would be the disguise. He knows that he used to be Hulk, but at the same time, it's like he still doesn't know who he is or where he is, so he's still just kind of like, ugh. But it was neat.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I totally bought that he would be on edge. They had a lot of funny interactions. I
do feel with the repeating the jokes. I thought for me, one of the ones that got me, or one of the ones I didn't like was, I don't like Bruce Banner. He's all numbers and then when he talked to Bruce Banner, he's like, I don't like Hulk. He's all like, I'm dumb. Smash, smash. Yeah. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah. This is what are we in grade school? Like, what is this? But no. I did like that bit of it in and of itself because it was neat that Thor was trying to appeal to whatever face he was talking to.
He was just like, please just help me get off of this planet. Because he was like,
whichever one you are.
We're gonna go fight. We're gonna go fight bad guy and smash stuff. And it'll be great. And he's like, no, I don't want to fight anybody. I want to
fight any more beings.
I want to not do this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I like also that we're at a point in the Marvel Universe where we can just have people react to each other and have these characters interact. Because, I mean, like, Banner would just react to Loki. And, like, when Banner first realized that Loki was there, he was just like, last time I saw you were trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, because it wasn't until he said that I realized how long it had been since he had seen Loki.
Yeah.
Because
first Avengers movie.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't realize because we've seen Loki a bunch since then.
Yeah. But it's been probably 4 years for him?
Yeah. It's been a while.
3 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious.
It's been a bit.
Gosh, yeah, it was really neat. I really loved their interactions with Loki with her. He's just like, how you feeling now? And he's like, it changes by the minute.
Yeah. Loki
recruited Valkyrie because of her past and her wanting to get revenge on Hela for killing all her people.
Loki was Loki was the other person that they were going to bring with them to Asgard, but he double-crossed Thor like he does, and Thor, becoming more and more privy to him as the years go on, just zapped him. So funny. I'll leave this over here for you. And
I was like, wow, that looks really painful. Like, it's really funny. Like, it wasn't just him. Like 30 minutes ago. Like,
yep.
oh man, that looks really painful.
It was great. Yeah, no. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. And I like how Loki does kind of have his little redemptive arc. He comes back and he's like, "Behold, your savior!"
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Because again, like, all Loki's motivation that has ever been is just to be adored by some group of people that he rules over.
Yeah.
And that's
he
literally
wants to
all he
rule.
wants.
Yeah.
And so he does his best to give his own little spin to anything he can.
Yeah. I like that Loki actually did feel like he kind of grew a little in this, because we kind of get a taste of that in Thor 2, but with him coming behind Thor and faking his death and stopping it and kicking Odin out and stuff like that, we see that Loki is still just the same Loki we know. But it's interesting that I love the talk that he and Thor had, basically, where he was just like when he catches him, where he's like, we do this thing, I believe you betray me and stuff like that, but he's just like, he's like, you could be you are the god of mischief, but you could be so much more. Mm-hmm. Like, I love that, because like Loki is very talented, and he would be really interesting to see him, because I don't know if Loki, I'm not very familiar with Thor's comics. I don't know if Loki really ever does good, like he ever becomes like an anti-hero or a good guy, but I think in this MCU, that would be kind of phenomenal.
He seems to just, I don't know, he seems to just kind of cater to his own desires.
Yeah, I really love. Yeah, so that's why I was thinking he might become kind of like more of a Catwoman type villain, where he's like, I'm gonna keep doing bad things, but I'm not gonna, every now and again I may step in and help the good guys, kind of thing. But I loved his knife fight with Valkyrie. That was phenomenal. I thought that was really cool. The quick play with the knife wielding was really intense. And I thought that was cool. It was short, but it was sweet. Yeah. And so he's very capable. Yeah. And so
he's almost certainly, he's always in it for himself, and he almost certainly has swiped the Tesseract again.
Yes.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? And also, I've heard a few people that don't believe that he has, and I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would he not?
Yeah, obviously you saw.
I was like,
Thanos' ship.
Are we to assume the Tesseract is destroyed?
Right,
because no, it isn't.
It's not. Definitely not. Thanos wouldn't have popped up near their ship if he didn't sense that there was an Infinity Stone near. Yeah, he's exactly. Like, hey, that guy that I once had a pact with to get me some Infinity Stones is now floating through space with an Infinity Stone. I'll just go get that. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
So
that was very unclear to me when I first saw the movie, that the ship that catches him in the post-credit scene is Thanos' ship. I was kind of hoping it wasn't. I was kind of hoping it was I don't know, a general or some other lower tier threat. But it looks like with Thor and Loki, it's just going to be, they're going to start it off the chain of whatever's going on with Thanos, basically, because it's just Thanos finds them first, basically. So we'll see. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
Basically, yeah.
What'd you think about Stan Lee's cameo?
It was fine.
I thought the joke was neat, with him being like, "You will not cut my hair," and then he's just like, "Oh, please don't cut my hair, sweet." That was neat. I think the big question though comes: is Chris Hemsworth more attractive with long hair or with short hair?
It's more attractive with his shirt on.
Yes, quite.
No, the biggest
I actually had this conversation with some of my coworkers.
Biggest question is whether or not they're going to cut Loki's hair.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's not good, but I mean, it's just, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but that's something that I didn't think about. Something I thought that I didn't know about was that it would take 2 hours a day to put Thor in that blonde wig, and so the idea to cut his hair came from that would save us so much more time. So and apparently Loki is still using a wig for his thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they cut his hair. Maybe Thanos cuts his hair or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of cool. So they get off Sakaar, they get back to Asgard, they fight Hela. They can't beat her. And so Thor sets off Ragnarok.
Yep.
Which I thought was neat.
Yeah, that was cool. It was a fun twist that it was about causing Ragnarok, not actually stopping it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My worry was when he was like, oh, he'll destroy Asgard. I was like, does he stop there? Like, is that all he destroys? But then, like, it does appear like that was his goal, is to destroy Asgard.
His purpose, it seemed.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if they'll rebuild Asgard, like, somewhere else, maybe even on Earth. Because apparently in the comics, at one point or another, like, Asgard was, like, a place in, like, I think, like, Oklahoma or something, or Idaho or something like that. Like, they just rebuild it here on Earth, like, in some, like, farmland.
Sounds good to me. Build it next door to Hawkeye's place.
Right.
He's like, come on, man. I didn't, like, but I'm supposed to be off the grid. Move the whole grid next door to me.
Right, exactly.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Do you think they'll rebuild Mjolnir or
maybe so? I mean, I think it would be
some new.
It would be a cool opportunity to meet the guy that made it, right?
That'd be cool.
But I mean, in this, I think maybe Odin is the one who made it. But I know that in the at least
I don't know
much
about Norse mythology.
There's some kind of,
because I know in the Greek mythology it's Hephaestus that makes a lot of the weapons and armor. And stuff,
there's a guy that makes stuff for them.
Yeah.
They run into him in the Ultimate Spider-Man. There's an episode. Where they run into the guy that made like Mjolnir and other things.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things like that. Tony Stark gets a Asgardian suit of armor, made by somebody like that in the comics, so that he can, fight Thor and other people, other Asgardians, other mythical threats like that. So yeah, I don't know. There's got to be somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked the music in this movie. I thought they did a good job, not just with some of the 80s music they used, but just like the score itself, the electronic kind of,
a lot of fun.
Mixture of electronic and kind of more epic music was kind of neat. I'm pretty I lean towards the electronic stuff. I'm a fan. Hela did a good job. Yeah. She was a big threat. Do you think she's dead? Do you think they kill her off in that?
I don't know.
That situation?
I don't know. She might be. She may not be.
I kind of hope she is, but I also wouldn't mind seeing her working with Thanos.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her as actual death.
Yeah,
as being
but
the
then
one
my
that
only
Thanos
thing is,
dates.
we never see her hurt, and so I'm wondering like how exactly they're supposed to stop her, because we literally couldn't stop her if she actually did survive this, and so I'm just like, wow. I don't know, but I mean, like, and that makes her,
she
a Thanos worthy threat, I guess.
They also use her to sweep the other Power Glove under the rug.
Yeah,
like, oh, like this is fake.
Yep. I did like that. That was neat.
Also, a thing I have that I've been wondering that I don't know, maybe this is explained. So the box of ice powers that apparently gives the frost giants, or is it? They walk past it in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that why Loki doesn't use any of his frost powers? Because he is still a frost giant.
Yeah.
Because I've always wondered about that. Because I'm like, there's tons of points where he can be in a fight or we might be in trouble. And I'm like, ice powers would be fantastic at this moment. And you could just use them and spring them on someone.
Is he a full frost giant, or is he?
Supposedly, yeah. He was just picked up from the frost giant.
Because do other frost giants have illusion magic, or is he just different? Like, I thought he might have been like.
We have zero idea about Loki. Like, as far as we understand it, he might have learned those things.
Yeah.
He might have just appropriated that type of knowledge and ability. We don't know. I don't know.
I'm not very familiar with Norse mythology, so I'm not sure how Loki comes to be, and so or very familiar with the comics.
I don't know how much of the Norse mythology is actually used in his origin here.
Yeah.
So like, but I'm just like, he's proven that he is a frost giant. Because I mean, Odin pulled him from there, but apparently there was some type of magic around him that kept him from discovering his own thing, and it didn't show through, I think, until he touched that. I think that's how it happened in the first one.
It's been a long time since I saw the first one. I actually had no idea what the blue thing was that wasn't the Tesseract. In fact, when I first saw it in that room, I thought it was a Tesseract, but then you see the Tesseract and I was like, nope, that's a Tesseract. So I don't remember what the blue thing was.
I'm pretty sure it was like their source of power or some nonsense.
They gave him like ice powers and stuff.
So, I don't know. Anyway, they release Ragnarok. They release Surtur, whose destiny is to drive his sword into the heart of Asgard and destroy it.
Yes.
Because Hela apparently gets her strength from Asgard, which Odin explains to be the people. So, but maybe she's tied to the land. I don't know at all.
It is really weird. It is very like it
seems to be contradictory. It is
contradictory because
they're like, hey, Asgard's a people, not a place. Just protect the people and you'll be fine. By the way, Hela gets her power from Asgard. The people, not the place. Okay, just destroy the place.
I think that Asgard as a people is more of a figure of speech or a symbol. Like, I think it's more like, I don't think it's literally that the Asgardians are Asgard, because Asgard is a place in the Marvel universe, and so I'm going to say Asgard is a place. But I do see how it could go.
Out. It was like,
I do see how it could go either way.
Odin was like, "Hey, you can still save Asgard." Quote,
yeah,
unquote,
basically.
Bunches of air quotes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because we'll just call this other thing Asgard.
Yeah, exactly.
So you saved Asgard. Woo! Meanwhile, actual Asgard, got destroyed.
Yes.
Foundations are still strong. We can rebuild. It can be a place of peace and hope for everyone lost in the universe. Oh no.
Foundations are gone too.
Completely gone. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Meek, where are you from? Oh, Meek's dead. Stepped on him back down on the bridge. Just been carrying him around with me all day. Felt so bad.
Oh, Meek, you're alive.
So freaking
right.
stupid.
What was your question again?
Earth it is.
Yes.
Yeah. My gosh.
What's the guy's name that Idris Elba plays? Is it Heimdall? Something like that?
Heimdall.
Yeah, I don't know. He was amazing. He was great.
Oh, yes. Idris Elba was fantastic.
Not just in his fighting and coolness and protecting Asgardians and stuff like that, but I really love the scene where he lets Thor borrow his sight and he can see where he is and see what he sees and stuff like that. I think that was really interesting. And like part of it, I think, was kind of funny to me, which I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it was funny for me, was that like he's talking to Thor and it's kind of unclear if the people around him can see Thor, basically. Like Thor is there interacting with him, but it's like they all have this look on their face, and I'm just like, they think he's crazy. He's gotta be crazy.
Heimdall.
Yes, cool.
It's strange to me because anytime anyone says his name, it's usually Thor, and he's usually yelling it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is his name?
Yeah, it's
Heimdall. Open the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name's Heimdall.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea, but no, yeah, he was great. He was super cool. He seems super powerful, like almost more powerful than Thor and Loki. Like, this guy's a boss.
Heimdall's cool.
Really I love that he uses the Bifrost sword to like just basically be Cloud,
mow people over. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, very, very cool.
So fun, so cool to see.
I'm excited to see him. I'm wondering if now that he's stuck with Thor on the ship, if he's gonna become a character, like if he's gonna become like Falcon or War Machine, where he's kind of inadvertently become an Avenger.
Black friend?
Wow, yes, but I meant inadvertently become an Avenger. Show up in if he was going to be in the final.
Are you saying that Falcon and War Machine are only Avengers because their friends are Avengers?
Yes. Yes, I am. Was that unclear?
Wow. What a jerk.
I'm sorry, Rhodey didn't make no suit of armor. He just stole it.
He did not. That is a fact.
And so did Falcon.
That's also true.
And so did Heimdall.
It was issued to him.
He stole the Bifrost sword.
Technically, it was issued to him. I think Heimdall probably had the most claim over his equipment than any of those other Avengers.
Yeah, but there is a pattern developing. It's very
no
weird.
one actually... Yeah, real Odin didn't actually accuse Heimdall of...
No. It was Loki doing that. So yeah, no, I see that. But yeah. Did he do that in Thor 2? Because Or like that's just something that happened off screen?
Yes.
Okay.
You assume it happens. You assume all this is what's happened in the past, however long Loki has been on the throne.
Yeah, because I was just caught off guard. I was like, wait, did I miss something? And then Scourge, he mentioned, he's like, oh, I'm Scourge. I fought with you on blah blah blah. Like, was that something we'd seen as well? Okay, all right. No. Just checking.
Because Thor has fought endless wars on countless places.
Yeah.
And so I figured it was just this thing where he was just like, whereas like he's the guy that he's the fan who shows up at a Comic-Con and meets the guy once, gets his autograph, and then sees him again 5 years later, and he's like, oh, you remember me? I was at that place and you signed this thing and yeah.
And Thor's just like,
and
okay,
the actor's
cool.
just like, sure.
Yep.
Of course I remember. How could I forget the guy with the photo that I signed? Yeah.
How could I forget
I feel like
the
that's
guy
exactly what was going on
with
in
the black
moment.
bands on his bald head. But yeah, no.
That's,
Anyway. He was super going to die, but I was kind of hoping he wouldn't, just because...
And he super didn't have to.
He really didn't, no.
No. He jumped off of the thing for 0 reasons.
Yeah, no, he could have just
stood there. Because the thing was pulling away. The thing was already dissolving. Yeah, the little thorn was already dissolving away from the ship. He could have just kept shooting at it and the other things.
Yeah, it was very
fine. No, he died
weird.
For 0 reasons.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But he got to stand up to Hela and be like, "Look, guy, I ain't gonna take your stuff." Dead.
Yeah.
And we were like, "All right, that's cool."
Mm-hmm. Yep, he took it.
That's Carl Urban.
Yep. He gets the short of the stick in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But he plays it well.
Yes, he does. He does a good thing. But yeah, I think that about covers it. I think that's Thor Ragnarok, guys.
It was a great film.
It was really good.
Go
Check it out.
watch it.
Go see it twice.
Do that. It's really good.
If you've seen it already and you've heard us talk about it, go see it again.
It's worth.
It's pretty good. I'm excited to
worth your time.
See the future and stuff with these new movies.
Anyway, write in. Let us know what you wish hadn't been spoiled in the trailers. And tell us, I don't know, tell us what you liked about the movie, what was your favorite parts, what you're excited about with Infinity War and all that stuff coming up. If you're super pumped for Black Panther, which I super am.
Tell us all the things you're going to miss about me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take your last opportunity to tell David he's wrong about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for listening. You can reach us at Team YK Pod on Twitter. We are Those Nerds You Know on YouTube and Facebook. We have a Gmail. It's thosenerdsyouknowpod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on iTunes and Podbean. And please like, comment, subscribe. Give us a review. Give us a good review.
5 stars.
Do all that stuff. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ethan.
And I'm David.
And we are Those Nerds You Know. Bye.